Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Legal Decipher. In the previous video we had discussed about the offences affecting unborn child as described in chapter 16 of IPC. If you have not seen that video, you can go and check it. The link is in the description below. In this video, we will discuss about the offence of wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement and their variations and understand the substance therein. So if you're new here, please like and subscribe to my channel to get the video notifications. So let's get started. So in this video, we are going to talk about that part of chapter 16 that deals with wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement. So let's move on with section 339, which defines wrongful restraint. It says, whoever voluntarily obstructs any person so as to prevent that person from proceeding in any direction in which that person has a right to proceed is said to wrongfully restrain that person. And what is wrongful confinement? Section 340 talks about whoever wrongfully restrains any person in such a manner as to prevent that person from proceeding beyond certain circumscribing limits is said to wrongfully confine that person. So understand this very carefully. There is a difference between wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement. What is that difference? If a person has a right to proceed in a particular direction, you have to understand that this word direction that is mentioned in section 339 to define wrongful restraint is here for a purpose. Wrongful restraint is restraining a person who intends to go in a particular direction. So that person wants to go in a particular direction and he is prevented by any other person to do so. Basically, when he has a right to proceed in that direction. So say for example, let's understand with this with a very simple instance. Say for example, there is a way or a road and that person is intending to go from north to the south of that road. So he is moving towards the south. Now a person comes before him and obstructs him and he says that you cannot go south from here. You have to turn back and go towards the north direction. Now what did this person do? He actually wrongfully restrained that person. Why? Because it is a public road and that person had every right to use it, and he may either go north or south. That is none of the business of that person who was obstructing him. But that person who was obstructing him actually restrained that person from going towards the south direction. So he basically prevented that person from proceeding in a particular direction. That is the first thing that should come to your mind when you are talking about wrongful restraint. To identify a wrongful restraint, you need to understand whether that person was prevented from going to a particular direction or not. If he was so prevented to proceed to a particular direction in which he had a right to do so, then that person would be wrongfully restrained. That act of restraining would fall under section 339. Now, exception is that the obstruction of a private way over land or water which a person in good faith believes himself to have lawful right to obstruct is not an offence within the meaning of this section. So, exception says that if such person tried to use a land or water for proceeding in a particular direction, which land or water was a private property, and the person who obstructed the other believed that he had a lawful right over such land or water, and that is why he obstructed. So that will not fall under section 339. It will be thought to be an exception if such person did so with good faith, and if he believed in good faith that he had the lawful right to obstruct. Now let's move on to section 340 that talks about wrongful confinement. So till now we have understood what wrongful restraint is. Now let's understand what wrongful confinement is. So from the word confinement, you should get this idea in your mind that in confinement, a person is restrained in a particular boundary, and that is mentioned here, this word circumscribing limits. This phrase has been mentioned here in section 340 for a purpose. You need to understand that purpose. Why it is mentioned here? Because in wrongful confinement, a person is restrained in such a manner that he cannot proceed beyond a certain circumscribing limits. All the ways, all the directions had been closed, and that is why he cannot proceed beyond a particular limit. For a very simple example, let's take this instance that a person has put another person in a room that has no way out of it except only one door that is being closed by this person who has put that other person in confinement. So he has basically put that person inside and locked the door. Now that person who is inside that room has no way out of that room. So he is unable to proceed beyond a certain circumscribing limits. And what is that circumscribing limit? In this example, that person cannot go beyond the limits of that particular room. That is his circumscribing limit in this particular example. So he cannot proceed beyond it. So he is said to be in a wrongful confinement. That offense would fall under section 340. And that person who has so put that person inside that particular confinement or that particular limits beyond which he cannot move out, this person has actually committed a wrongful confinement by putting that person inside that limits. So what is the main difference between wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement? That wrongful restraint is preventing a person from going into a particular direction. Only one way is blocked, all the other ways are open. And wrongful confinement is basically putting a person inside a particular limits and making him unable to move out of it. So all the ways are closed here. That will be wrongful confinement. So now we have understood what is wrongful restraint and what is wrongful confinement. Now let's understand the punishment for it. Section 341 talks about punishment for wrongful restraint. It says simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 month, or with fine which may extend to 500 rupees, or with both. Section 342 punishes wrongful confinement with imprisonment which may extend to 1 year, or with fine which may extend to 1000 rupees, or with both. Now if wrongful confinement has been done for 3 days or more than that, then it will fall under section 343 and he will be punished for imprisonment up to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. Now if such person has been wrongfully confined for 10 or more days, then in that case the offender will be punished with imprisonment for up to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine. Now section 345 talks about wrongful confinement of person for whose liberation writ has been issued. So that person was in confinement and now a writ has been issued for his release. So in that case, if he is still wrongfully confined by that person, then that offender will be punished with imprisonment that may extend to 2 years in addition to any term of imprisonment to which he may be liable under any other section of this chapter. So that will be an additional punishment. Now section 346 talks about a wrongful confinement in secret. So if a person has wrongfully confined another person in secret, what kind of secrecy are we talking about here? We are talking about that kind of secrecy where such person who is confined cannot go to a public servant, or he does not know in which place he is confined, or he cannot be possibly discovered by any such person or public servant as mentioned herein before. So in that case, that will fall under section 346 and that offender will be punished under this section with imprisonment up to 2 years and in addition to any other punishment for which he may be liable for such wrongful confinement. So that will be an additional punishment. Section 347 talks about wrongful confinement to extort property or constrain to illegal act. So if a person is wrongfully confined just to extort property from him or to constrain him to illegal acts, then the offender will be punished with imprisonment for up to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine. And section 348 talks about wrongful confinement to extort confession or compel restoration of property. So if any person wrongfully confines any other person to extort confession from him or to compel restoration of property from him, then he shall be punished with imprisonment for up to 3 years and shall also be liable to fine. So that's all in this video. If you like my videos, then don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.